Good evening and welcome to Creative Moments by G. Woohoo! We are so excited about tonight's broadcast. It's all about Christmas in July. We're actually going to be working with 2 stamp sets. And you know what? If you don't have these stamp sets, that's okay. One, we're going to use some dies with it. But the other one, you can use whatever stamp set you have. We know you're going to like it. Now, I'm going to look down here for just a second and I'm going to welcome everybody. I hope I don't miss your name. Teresa, Gloria Jewett, Stella, Linda, Patricia. Let's see if there's Anne. Welcome, ladies. We are so excited to have you here tonight. Now, if you are watching the rebroadcast, welcome. We missed you at the live, but we're so happy that you stopped by. Take a moment after the show and leave us a comment. We'd love to know how we're doing. Now, the crafters who are with us, it's Surprise Patrol. We're going to select 2 randomly selected winners, and you guys will get a gratitude gift from us. So if you're selected, make sure that you message us or Facebook us or whatever and get us your address. Maudie is over in the chat room. She's my sister, and we go on this crafting journey together, and we have so much fun. Well, let me show you one of the cards that we're actually going to make first. Now, this one does require a die, but you can kind of change up the format if you want. Look how beautiful this is. Oh, and it's so easy. If you're looking for some quick cards to make and get everything lined up for Christmas, these cards tonight, they're the ones to do. And our second card is going to be a slimline. Now, we've never made a slimline before, so we decided that we would do that. We've been listening to Christmas music all day just to get in the mood. We are really ready for Christmas. And let me see, what do we have? 6 more months to wait? I don't know. I'm not real patient, so I don't know if I'm going to be able to do that or not. So, hi, Catherine. Hey, Mary. Oh, what a great name. Merry Christmas. Mary. Love that name. So let's head down to the crafting table and let's get started. Okay. Whoops. There we are. Lost me. I got so excited that I pushed all kinds of buttons. Now, wait just a minute. Let me get this one up. Okay, hang on. Hang on, we're still talking to each other. You thought that we were going to go down to the crafting table, but we're not just yet. There we go. Now let's go down to the crafting table. So let me show you what we're going to be working with. We're actually going to work with the merriest moments. And what we're going to be working with are all these beautiful dies that they have. Now, look at what these dies do. I mean, this truly is a wonderful set. If you just use this die, that simply cuts out a background. Now, look at that. You could actually use this for another card, right? You don't have to use it for a Christmas card. You could stamp your message right here and put it right on a card. So that is double duty. Now the next one, you cut this one out if you want, let's see, do I have it? If you want all the little intricate holes cut out. And it will just cut it out just like that. Now you do have to run it through the embossing folder if you want it to look like this. But how pretty is that? And you know what goes here is another stamped area. Hey, Pat. Hey, Priscilla. So happy that you're here with us. And they also give you this stitched rectangle die that is so, so cute. So let's get busy putting this together. Now, I showed you this beautiful card. We decided to take white and cherry cobbler and crumb cake and just make this very elegant card. Well, then we got to talking. We thought, hey, wait a minute. Let's do some blue, right? So let's get this put together. Look at the colors that we've decided. We're going to go ahead and put some silver right here. And we're just going to lay it down with our wet glue. Now, what you might want to do is, which I didn't do, so I'm not going to do now because I have glue on it, is use your punch and punch out some labels, right? And that way you have some beautiful labels for next time. Okay, now the next layer is just a little bit smaller. Let's see if I have that cut. If not, I will need to cut that. So let me get my trimmer. And let me just see. Now this is just a regular base card. This is simply 8.5 by 5.5 scored at 4 1/4. And this is 3 3/4 by 5. So we are going to make this 3 3/4 by 5. We're simply going to make this 3 3/4. We're going to make it 3.5 by 4 3/4 because we're just going down by 1/4 of an inch. So let's see what that looks like. We're just going to lay this down right there. And look, you can just see that beautiful silver trim around it. So pretty. We are so ready. I mean, we love this card because it looks so elegant. It's so beautiful. Okay, now look what we did. We used the die that cuts this out, and then we re-embossed it using the embossing folder to give us the detail. Look at that. Isn't that gorgeous? But we also put a border around it just to make it pop. Now, you just have to turn it until you find it, which is right there. And look at that nice border that it has. It has a nice little border. And so we're just going to put that right there. And we're going to set it up on dimensionals. So let's go ahead and get some glue on this one. Now you could cut this in a different color. And we may decide to do that. I think, I don't know. I think, no, I'm going to go ahead and just put it together. So since this is a wet, you don't have much time to wiggle. So, you know, try to get it as close as you can the first time you put it down. There we go. Now look at that. It has that beautiful background. Hey, Debbie, welcome. And we are simply going to lift that up on dimensionals. But let's take our little rectangle that we went ahead and we cut out. And let's go ahead and stamp that. Now we're going to stamp with that beautiful stamp. Oh my goodness. It says, "Together is the merriest place to be." And we're going to use our starry sky. So let's just get that. Now, pay attention to the way you're going to lay this down, right? We're going to put this on dimensionals right here. So we need to stamp landscape. So let's go ahead and bring that in. You can use your Stamparatus, but I think on something like this, we're going to get a really good stamp on it. So let's just line that up. And hold it for good contact, just to get, so that ink transfers, right? I just love blue and silver. I think that is so, oh, look at that. Together is the merriest place to be. Don't you love that font? I love that font. So I'm going to leave that open, but I'm going to go ahead and grab some dimensionals. And you can see how quickly this card gets put together. But, you know, start thinking about if you don't have this set, you know, what colors would you want to layer? You could use a rectangle and simply create the stamp to go right in the middle. That blue is Starry Sky. It's one of the new colors that Stampin' Up! Has. And it is so beautiful. You know, the Night of Navy that they have is just a little bit darker than that. This one just has that vibrant color. Almost like a, what is that color that I love so much? It's a blue. Oh, I can't think of it. But anyway, so yes, it's not a dark. It's more of a vibrant color. If you can think of the blue I'm thinking about, it's a you know, a very vibrant blue. Someone can think of the name of that, I'm sure. Starry Sky Blue is the one that we're talking about, but there's another color that's so pretty. Okay, so now we're going to put this down right in the center, set it up on some dimensionals, And look at that. Oh, isn't that lovely? Oh, I just love that. Okay. Hey, Judy, welcome. Merry Christmas. This is Christmas in July. Okay, now look at this. We are going to center that, and I'm going to go ahead and put it up on dimensionals. And because we have this great background right here, we can go ahead and just put some dimensionals all over the back. And I'm going to go ahead so that it's stable when we send it through the mail. I'm going to put 5. I'm going to put 2 on the sides and 1 right in the middle. And then you can just use your fingernails, take your pick tool to take the backing off. Loving this card. When we thought, we haven't done a July, Christmas in July, so we wanted to do that today. Okay, gonna center it. Look at the front of that card. Is that not beautiful? So pretty. Now we need to do the inside of the card. So we need to make sure that we cut the first mat. And the first mat is always 5 1/4 by 4. So let's go ahead and do a little stamping. On this one, we're going to say, let me see, Season's Greetings right here. And we're going to use the blue again. So let's bring in our blue. And let's stamp right in the center. And just hold it for good contact. We just need that ink to transfer, right? Oh, I just love the font on this stamp set. It is so, so pretty. I'm making sure I don't have any. Oh, I do have a little ink right there. So I'm just going to rub it off. I don't want to get it on my card, right? Now I'm going to put some ink down, some glue down. Put this on the center, on the inside of the card. And we have our first card done. This was really easy because we used some dies to get that cut out. And there we have it. Love this card. It was so easy, and yet, oh my goodness, the recipient of this would just love it, and they would just look at it and think, how in the world did they do that? But we won't tell them, right? It's our little secret. So we're going to just put that one right there, and we are going to randomly select someone to win our first gratitude gift. We just appreciate our crafters so much. Hey, Mary. Welcome. Let's just see what it does is it takes all the comments and does all the work for us so that we don't have to do it, which is really nice, right? That way we don't have to I see so many great names as theirs as we're just going by. So how is everyone doing tonight? Oh my goodness. We actually got some rain before we came on, which made me, of course, a little nervous, right? Oh my goodness. Because we know what happened last time it rained. So let's see. Okay, Gloria Jewett. Yay, Gloria. Let me see. So happy for you. Let's all congratulate Gloria. Now, Gloria, take a moment and either use the contact form on our, let me see if I can get that off. And let me put this. On our website, you can use the contact form to give me your address, and we will get that sent to you hopefully tomorrow. Once again, we appreciate all of your comments and your shares and your likes. It means so much to us, and you are helping us grow our channel, and we love our crafting friends. Just thank you so much. So now we're very excited about this next card because it's a slimline card, and I told you, we've not done that before. So look at what I have here. I need to bring out my tray, right? It helps keep me organized. And I have everything ready to go and cut out. But let me show you the stamp set that I'll be using. Now, I will actually be using this embossing folder. You can use any embossing folder that you have. But boy, are these leaves beautiful. They're a 3D folder, and they are so pretty. And I'm looking for my other stamp set. Oh, there it is. And the other stamp set is this one. This is the Leaves of Holly Sweet. Oh my goodness, these leaves are so big, so they're perfect for a slimline card. So let me show you what we need to do. Okay. We need to take our paper, and I have the measurements right here, and I want to remind you, give me about an hour after our presentation, and we will have all the measurements up for you over on creativemomentsbyg.com, our blog, and that way you don't have to write them down. So we hope that you join us over there. And remember, we're on Instagram, Facebook, Pinterest. We hope that you join us there as well. And subscribe to us. That would be great. So now, the dimensions of this are 8.5 by 7, and we scored it at 3.5. So we have our score line right there. We're simply going to, if I can find my bone folder, and I can't readily find it, so I'm just going to use my fingernail. I'm going to give that a good crease. And now we have our slimline card. And what's so neat about this is it actually fits in just a regular size large envelope. So I'm really happy about that. So see how it fits in there? And we're going to decorate this just to give it a little pizzazz, right? So the first thing we need to do is go ahead and cut a mat, because the design that we have requires that we have a mat, and it allows us to section off this slimline card because, you know, this is rather a large card. So we decided to go ahead and use, what is the name of this cardstock? Let me see. It is Evening Evergreen. So let's go ahead and lay that down. Just get a little glue here. Oh, this card turned out really pretty. So we're going to have to do some more slimline cards. We're just going to lay this down right here, making sure that the border is even all the way around. And then we simply took our DSP that we have. We have this beautiful Christmas DSP, and it's part of the suite. It's the Boughs of Holly. So we took that and we simply cut a little square of it, and that is simply 2.5 by 3 because we're going to put that right here. And we're going to make sure that we have a good size border on the top, the bottom, and the side. And we can go ahead and lay this down because we're going to put another mat right here. So it's really not too bulky. I don't think anyway. We're just going to make sure that we have the border all the way around. It's already starting to take shape, right? Okay. Hey, Gloria. Hey, Glow. Thanks for joining us. Now look what we've done. We've taken this crumb cake and we're simply going to put it right there. But before we add it, we want to go ahead and emboss it, right? So I need to bring in the boss, open it up, and our embossing folder is going to be that beautiful, the leaves that I told you about. And that is really called fern. So we're just going to add this to the inside, line it up, and get the right, let's see, I had that. And what did, oh, there they are. I was going to say, I know I have the right sandwich. So we're going to put number 1 and number 4, at least for the boss. That's what our sandwich is. And we're simply going to roll it through. And this is a 3D embossing folder, so it's nice and deep. It's so pretty. Let me show you what that looks like. You take it out and look at that. Can you see how beautiful that is? So pretty and really cut into that paper. So let's go ahead and put that to the side. And now we're ready to go ahead and add it. You know, because if you just added the crumb cake, it really looks flat, right? Things always look better, we think, when they're embossed, dry embossed, wet embossed, however you want to do it. But that's all you have to do. We're just going to add it. Now, when you add something like this to the card, you want to make sure that you get enough glue because you've really impressed that embossing folder. So you need to get in those crevices. So give yourself enough glue. Be generous so that it really does adhere to the top of your card. Now, make sure that you are also giving it a border right here in between the two panels. And oh, look how pretty that looks. It's looking pretty already, right? Now we're going to bring in the dies of their leaves. Look at these beautiful leaves that they have. We simply use the dies and punch them out, and now we're simply going to add them with some glue, and look at that. Isn't that pretty? Love that. Love that. So just add a little bit of glue right there. Simply attach it. Your glue will dry clear, so you don't have to worry about it. Now make sure that you have the right side of this. You don't want to do it on the wrong side. There we have it. So we're just going to add a little glue. Just looking at some of the comments. Hey, Teresa from Arizona. Oh, I bet it's hot there, Teresa. We have cut out the cherries. So we're going to glue that together. I see that we froze for just a moment, but I think I picked us right back up. So let's go ahead and get that. And I'm going to ask Maudie if we're still live. Okay, so we have our little cherries right there. And look at this beautiful label. This punch actually comes with the stamp set. But I wanted to do it in this color, but of course you can't stamp on this color, right? So I went ahead and I'm just going to cut out this part right here, and I'm going to put it on our green. So let me get my snips. Let's see where they are. Don't really know. I'll grab these. And I'm just going to cut this off because I really only want the center part on here. And I'm going to cover this part up with those humongous leaves. So let's go ahead and cut it just like that. And I'm going to stamp my beautiful stamp right there. So let's go ahead and do that first, and that will tell me where I have to place everything. So my stamp is simply going to say Season's Greetings, and I want to do that in Cherry Cobbler. And let's see, just get that ready to go and stamp it right in the center. Make sure my head doesn't get in there. Right, I want to make sure it's level right there. Okay. Okay, now I'm going to close that, and let's just add that right to this piece right here. We're going to go ahead and glue it down right on top of it. And that way you can use that beautiful green for this little teeny border that's right there. I think that will really add a nice touch, but yet you'll be able to stamp. So let's go ahead and just get this laid down very carefully. Okay, now move that to the side. I also stamped some little brown, I don't know, whatever you want to call that. And we can add those as well. So let's go ahead and just add this right here. And I'm going to add it, let's see, because remember now, I want to cover these up. I really don't want you to see those. So we can just add it, something like this. I'm just kind of get a feel for it because I haven't done it, so I'm not sure exactly how I want to do it. Up, just like that. Make sure you stay inside the border of the card. And then we will put our cherries right there. Okay. Exactly where we need to do it. So I'm going to go ahead and set this up on dimensionals just to give us a little bit of height. So remember, you don't want any glue on this part because this moves around, right? I really like this slimline card. Like I said, we've never done one before, but I think this one turned out really pretty. Okay. So let's go ahead and get that centered right here. Okay. I'm going to put it down just a little bit. Okay. And now I might put the smaller leaf on top and then put this one right here. Like that. Oh, yep, I think that's the way I'm going to do it. So I'm just going to put a little bit of glue, and it's going to glue right on top of this, right here. Right there. Put a little bit of glue on the back. And get this right over that leaf, but not over our sentiment, right? We don't want to cover that up. Then I'm simply going to put this one right here. Now, I'm going to set this up on dimensionals. So let me get some dimensionals. Just set this up right here. Okay. Let's see. So here we go. About right there. Now we're going to simply add our cherries right here, and I can just glue them down. Add some glue. You know, this is such a pretty card. Oh, I just love the detail to these leaves, right? Got a little bit too much glue there. Just get that off. Let's get that. Concentrating really hard to get those cherries on. Berries. Oh, look at the front of that. So pretty. Now we can add a few of these little brown stems just to give it some detail. I think we need to do that. So just add a little bit of glue. You know, and you can make a slimline card using any stamp set that you have. And remember, if you do make a slimline card, we would love to see it. Post it over on our Facebook page right under this video. That would be so cool. We love to see what everyone makes. So we're just going to add, maybe we'll add one more right there. I think that would be pretty. And I think 3 is enough. A little bit of glue. Just get that right there. Okay, and now we just need to get the inside done. So we went ahead and we cut a strip of paper for the sentiment, and that is simply 3 by 8 1/4. So we want to go ahead and stamp some leaves right here with our sentiment, and I want to show you how beautiful these leaves are. Now, I don't know if you can see how big they are, but they are really big. So the first one we're going to stamp is this light one, and then we're going to come back in with the dark. So let's go ahead and do our old olive, and I'm going to make sure I have the base of it right. So I'm going to put it on some paper so we don't make a mess. Just going to get it about right there. Stamp it. Okay, and then I'm going to take this one off and rest it over here so I don't get it on anything. And now I'm going to bring in my darker leaf and give us the definition. Okay. You just kind of line up everything and hold it for contact. Look at that. Oh, my goodness. Look at the definition in that leaf. Isn't that beautiful? So we're just going to put that aside, and now we're going to bring in our smaller leaf for over here, making sure that we have the background first. We're going to stamp it. I'm just going to go ahead and get it right here, just half of it. And then we're going to bring in the other half with the darker color to give us the definition, right? Let's just line up those and hold it for good contact. Oh, look at that. So, so pretty. Now, I'm not sure if we're going to be able to make the red show. So, let's go ahead and get cherry cobbler. And I thought I had real red. Let me get that. That's a little bit lighter. So, we're going to do the background in real red and see if we can get it to come through just a little bit. Hold it for good contact. And now we're going to do the darker, which gives us just a little bit more definition. hold it down. Okay. Now we're just going to bring in our sentiment and put it right over here to the side. And I think we'll do that in cherry cobbler. That's my new favorite color. It's really not new, but I just love cherry cobbler. Let's go ahead and just stamp that right from our house to yours. Now we're ready to lay that down right on the inside. Now, whenever we do envelopes, you know, a lot of times we emboss the back, the flap, right? But sometimes we just stamp. So we're just going to stamp a little bit. We have this right here just to give it a little pizzazz, like I said. So now what you could do is we can go ahead and bring in our big leaves. And this time, I'm going to tape over. Where's my tape? There it is. I'm going to tape over the stem so that we don't get the stem when it's time to stamp. And you can also use a Post-it note, right? You could use a Post-it note to cover this up. So let's do our light one first. And you can also try to make sure that you just don't get it. But I'm not very good at that, so... Let's see. Let's just get this right here. Hold it. Okay. And this is going to give us enough room for our cherries, our little berries, which is what we want. So let's go ahead and get that, and we'll try not to get too much of the stem. We'll take another piece of tape, put it right over the stem so we make sure and don't get it. And just hold it over and get it down right there. Oh, look at that. So, so pretty. Now, we need to do the big one again, right? So, I'm looking for that one. And we need our light background. And then we're going to bring in our cherries. And then we're going to review what we've done. But I'm trying to find that. Let's see. I have this one. I am not seeing that other leaf, so I guess we're going to do this smaller one again, which is fine. Okay, let's go ahead and get that, and I'm going to make sure that I don't have any, I want to make sure I don't have anything on the stem. So we'll just go ahead and put this one right here. Line it right up. Okay. We're going to go ahead and do the darker one. Making sure not to get that stem as much as possible, but just in case, I'm going to put a piece of tape on it and line it up. And try to get it right in the right spot. Now we have enough room for our beautiful berries. So let's go ahead and bring in our real red and get that stamped. And we're going to put that about right. Let's do this way. Right here. Oh boy, those are beautiful. And then we're going to bring in the darker to give us that definition. Oh, Mary, you are so right. Just really adds to the card, doesn't it? And look at the definition in those berries. Yep. Really does the trick, doesn't it? So now I'm just going to make sure everything's off my design table. And let's see what we have. So we have this beautiful slimline card, right? Oh, love it. Let me get this going. Okay, I love slimline cards. I've decided they're our new best friend. And look how pretty those big leaves are. You know, when you get this stamp set, you have to be careful because those are pretty big leaves. And so here is our card. Now, where is our other card? I had it. It's somewhere. Here it is. This is the other slimline card we made. A little bit different. We used the poinsettias. We added some rhinestones. And this one was a white base, and so we didn't have to do anything to the inside. This was kind of nice. Just added that and then added this to the envelope. So here are our two slimline cards. Here are the two beautiful cards with the die cuts that we used. And then we also used the one with the poinsettias just to create this other card. Once again, we used this DSP, which we used on the slimline card. And then we just added, we cut this out actually of this DSP. So how cool was that? Oh my goodness. So what do you think about those cards? Okay. Oh my goodness. We love Christmas in July. We loved making these cards. I loved listening to Christmas music all day. Probably drove Maudie crazy, but she liked it too. It was just so festive and fun. And you know, we're moving on to August. It's just moving too fast. Well, we just appreciate your time. We have another surprise patrol. So let's get busy. Let me see what we got. I want to remind everybody to go ahead and like, share, help us grow our channel. We just love our crafting friends so much and we appreciate you. So round and round we go. Who is the next person? Let's see. Mary! Yay, Mary. Let's all take a moment and congratulate Mary. Thank you so much for sharing your comments with us tonight. We hope you had a great time. Remember, we're going to be live next Tuesday at 10 o'clock. We hope you join us. We're moving into August. It's already here. Well, thank you so much for sharing your time with us. Go out and make it a fantastic weekend, and we'll see you next time. Bye-bye.